Big news for the Falcons. Could Myles Garrett be coming to Atlanta? Falcons fans, get ready because there's some big news shaking up the NFL. A major story is making waves, and it could change everything for Atlanta. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any updates, insider news, or everything about the Falcons. Now, let's get straight to it. Myles Garrett has officially requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns, and guess what? The Falcons are already being talked about as a possible landing spot. Imagine Myles Garrett in black and red. Sounds like a game changer, right? Let's be honest, Falcons fans. Our pass rush has been a big problem for a long time. Last season, we finished 31st in total sacks with just 31 sacks, almost at the bottom of the entire league. And this isn't just a one-time issue. Since 2017, we haven't even cracked the top 20 in sacks. Coincidentally, 2017 was also the last time we had a winning record and made the playoffs. That's why the idea of bringing in Myles Garrett is so exciting. This guy is an absolute beast on the defensive line. Since his rookie year in 2017, he has recorded at least 12 sacks every single season. Oh, and let's not forget, he was named the 2023 NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Simply put, he's a game changer who can disrupt an offense all by himself. According to ESPN's Dan Graziano, the Falcons are one of the 4 top teams that make sense as a trade destination for Garrett, along with the Eagles, Lions, and Commanders. Why is Atlanta a great fit? It starts with money. The Falcons have Michael Penix Jr. on a rookie contract, which means we have the financial flexibility to spend big on other positions. Adding a superstar like Garrett could push us into serious playoff contention. Of course, there are challenges. The Browns have already said they don't want to trade Garrett, but now that he's asking out, teams will start calling. Then there's the price tag. 2 first-round picks would probably be the starting point for a trade. This is where things get interesting. The Falcons drafted Penix Jr. at number 8 last year because they didn't expect to be picking in the top 10 again anytime soon. This year, we have the number 15 pick, and our offense looks ready to be a top 10 unit in 2025. The big question, would you trade the number 1 overall pick for a top 10 unit in 2025? 15 pick this year and a late first-round pick in 2026 for Myles Garrett. Remember, Garrett is under contract until 2026, but the Falcons would likely extend his deal and lower his cap hits, which currently sit at $19.8 million in 2025 and $25 million in 2026. He's only 29 years old and could stay dominant for at least 4 more seasons. What do you think, Falcons fans? Should Atlanta go all in for Garrett, or is the price too high? Let us know in the comments. Could the Falcons become a 10-win team with Myles Garrett? If the Falcons pull off this trade, 10-7 should be the absolute minimum for this team. Think about it. Adding Myles Garrett to our defense would completely change the game. Look at the Rams. They finished 10-7 last season and are picking 26th in this year's draft. That could be us, if we make the right moves. But this isn't just about draft picks. The Falcons also need to create cap space, which means making some tough decisions on veteran contracts. Right now, we're $1 million over the projected salary cap, so changes have to happen anyway. If we're clearing space, why not do it for a player like Myles Garrett? Would Garrett even want to join Atlanta? Here's another hurdle. Does Garrett even want to play for the Falcons? In his trade request, he made it clear that he wants to compete for a Super Bowl. Are the Falcons at that level yet? That's debatable. We haven't made the playoffs since 2017, and while we're moving in the right direction, we still have to prove it on the field. However, with Garrett on board, that playoff dream could become reality much faster. He's the kind of player who makes everyone around him better. Opposing offenses would have to game plan specifically for him, which means other Falcons defenders would have more chances to make big plays. Plus, Garrett's leadership in the locker room would be huge for our young defensive players. What should the Falcons do? So, Falcons fans, is Myles Garrett worth 2 first-round picks and some tough cap decisions? Should the team go all in to bring him to Atlanta? Or would you rather see them build through the draft and free agency? Drop your thoughts in the comments. But that's not the only big news. There's a lot of talk about head coach Raheem Morris and some drama surrounding Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins' injury controversy, what's really going on? Just when we thought the offseason drama was over, Kirk Cousins dropped a bombshell during Super Bowl week. He revealed that he had been playing through an injury late in the 2024 season. This shocked Falcons fans. I mean, why are we just hearing about this now? This news raises a lot of questions. Did the coaching staff and medical team know about the injury and keep quiet? Or were they completely in the dark? Either way, it's not a good look for anyone involved. And let's be real, it doesn't change the fact that Raheem Morris stuck with Cousins even when he was struggling. Many fans were already frustrated that Morris waited too long to make a quarterback change. If Cousins was injured, that decision looks even worse in hindsight. The team had chances to make a playoff push, and those chances were wasted. Is Cousins exaggerating his injury? Now here's where things get even more interesting. Some people believe that Cousins might be exaggerating the injury to either force the Falcons to release him, generate trade interest from other teams. I'm not saying that's definitely the case, but let's be honest, the timing is suspicious. So what do you think, Falcons fans? Is Cousins telling the full truth, or is there something else going on? And what does this mean for Raheem Morris and the team moving forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Kirk Cousins' injury drama. What should the Falcons do? If Cousins' injury was so serious, why didn't he say anything when it actually mattered? Why wait until now? This whole situation puts the Falcons in a tough spot. On one hand, Cousins' honesty, or lack of it, has made things messy. On the other hand, it's clear that the Falcons need to make big decisions moving forward. But here's the real twist. Cutting Cousins doesn't make financial sense. In fact, keeping him as a backup is actually cheaper than releasing him. That's right, there's a $25 million difference between keeping him on the bench and cutting him loose. What does this mean for the Falcons' offseason? For starters, the Falcons shouldn't feel pressured to find Cousins a starting job somewhere else. The team doesn't owe him anything at this point. If a good trade offer comes in, great. But if not, there's no harm in keeping him as a backup. It's simply a better financial move than taking on a huge dead cap hit. How does this affect Raheem Morris? The timing of Cousins' injury announcement makes the coaching staff look questionable at best. But regardless of whether they knew about the injury or not, Raheem Morris sticking with Cousins for so long was a mistake. Falcons fans deserve better decision-making from the coaching staff, and this situation just proves it. Is Cousins looking out for himself? Let's be honest, Cousins keeping quiet about his injury until now feels selfish. It's hard not to see this as a move to protect himself rather than the team. If he had been upfront about his condition, things could have played out very differently last season. At the very least, the team and the fans would have had a clearer picture of what was going wrong. What's next for the Falcons? As frustrating as this situation is, it does bring some clarity. The Falcons now know exactly where they stand with Cousins, and they shouldn't feel obligated to do him any favors. At the end of the day, this is a business, and the team needs to do what's best for the future. What do you think, Falcons fans? Should the Falcons keep Cousins as a backup or look for a trade partner? How do you feel about Raheem Morris's handling of the situation? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for the latest Falcons news and updates. Your support helps us bring you exclusive content, so stay tuned for more. Go Falcons, on fire!